And okay, so it looks like we're going to be jumping right into pool 3 with, I think I see Rocco going up there. And we'll see if we get the song draw in a second.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the pool pulled up here so I can see who's in it.
Yeah, I remember it had teejusb, Rocco, and Moosey at the very least. And the 4th player is Mystic.
Okay, so Moosey, Mystic, Rocopltx, and teejusb,
who was just sitting here. You can see Moosey behind us in the frame now, who has been responsible for a lot of helping out with stuff at this event.
You can also see Sujit behind us as well, who's also in this pool.
Also was sitting here until a few minutes ago.
Yep.
Hopefully got himself some time to stretch and stuff. All right. Oh, it's not Get Your Wish. All right, we'll see the songs in a moment.
So I'm assuming they already did the song draws and everything. Are they getting warm-ups?
No.
Okay, so they just jump into it and they go.
Yep. Which has been a challenge for players on the Gold Cab both days.
So I'm assuming V Challenge.
All right, I think I can see V Challenge, Chronos Challenge, DDR Expert.
Okay.
And they can play the songs in any order.
That seems like not too bad.
Yeah, Chronos Challenge double, I actually don't know anything about.
V Challenge, I actually know this chart because I'm obviously a DDR boomer, so I very much remember it from Extreme.
This is one of my favorite Extreme charts. I think it's probably going to be near the top of my most played on EMUs for sure.
Yeah.
Rocco wiping the bar, doing a speed run of changing shoes, it looks like. Nope, just retying them. So yeah, the classic 150 BPM song. The challenge puts some drills where you'd expect that aren't in the expert chart. Probably mostly just a timing focus challenge for these players on a whole bunch of different kinds of patterns throughout the song.
Yep.
Starting out with some easy quarter notes just to get you into it. One or two perfect so far. Overall, very good timing in the intro, and then we'll start having some of the 16th note patterns coming up in the chorus. V is very old. I mean, it says for Extreme. First of those drills on the violin pattern. I guess it's not really a chorus. Okay, good timing on the second drill. Looks like he's mostly doing the patterns as intended and handling them very nicely. Slows throughout a lot of the drills, but then cleans it up for that one and that one. Approaching.
Breaks a combo there.
Yeah. Trickiest patterns right at the end of the song. He seems happy with the play.
Yep. 1187 is going to be the first score to beat out the gate. V.
Looks like he's heading for Chronos.
Right there.
Another pretty classic song. A lot of varied rhythms. A neat 5/4 section. But yeah, I do not know the double chart.
Yeah, as I remember, the sync on this song is not the greatest. In fact, I'm going to just get this pulled up on here.
I forgot what read speed he used for V. It looks like he's contemplating 4.0, which is about 532. Live songs. Oops, 512. Yeah, that's what he sticks with. Pretty energetic start to the song, and he handles it just fine. Hopefully having had the chance to get himself sufficiently warmed up by playing the first song. But it looks like he can move pretty well for 16 patterns.
Yeah, Roco's doing very well here so far.
Yeah, actually, this is he's settled in pretty well and keeping up a very strong play. The more complicated patterns have come up, so the machine score he had on his account, which is much lower, no indication at all. He's just blowing that away.
That's clearly like you play it, you mess up early in the song, you just kind of like BS your way through the rest of the song kind of score, I believe. Breaks common there first, but yeah, Roco's doing very well.
Getting a
Roco's getting hype. Little spin there in the break, little small pop off.
So he definitely is very comfortable with the song. Doing fine on broken patterns. Just a bit behind on a few 16th runs, but basically picking the timing right back up. Great crossover run at the end. That's a cool finish.
Very well executed.
That is a strong play. Going to be really interesting to see how the other players do on it. Probably the hardest song of the set for sure, with Da 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 Expert coming up.
Yeah, Roco seems pretty happy with his score on that.
Interesting that it's by far the busiest song in the set. It's pretty tiring. Let's see if it was written down wrong. I saw Expert here.
Expert, yeah, it's the challenge.
That might be the reason he left it for third.
Looks like it is challenge unless he's just setting speed odds. Okay, it is Expert.
If he thought it was challenged, that may have been why he left it for last.
Yeah.
And so the Expert version of Da Da Da, instead of long runs of jacks, has, in the single it's 12th note crossovers. I don't completely remember here.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be, obviously 12 notes, probably alternating arrows. And I'm assuming the double chart's like the singles on the challenge where you have it on the single arrow for the jacks.
A lot of movement in the chart so far, handles it just fine. You know, now that we're confirmed we're playing the Expert, it is a much easier chart than Chronos Challenge. A little bit of, higher BPM 16ths than he had to deal with previously, but it's not any kind of problem. 12 drills in the double Expert, okay. So a little cleaner than the single version, which throws some crossovers into them. First great coming up there, but overall shaping up to be another great score if he keeps it up. Yeah, just some kind of drilly patterns or box patterns moving around the pad. No problems at all. Keeps his self focused on sync very well during them.
Almost here to the end of the song. All right.
He definitely seems happy again. I'm pretty sure that was a AAA score. Almost.
Almost.
There was a miss in there.
Alright, so looks like we're gonna have Moosey up next.
Looks like he was checking on his own visual offset.
Yeah. Whenever you go to a gold cap, you always want to check your visual offset. Make sure you got it set.
It has been, yeah, a big point of discussion for the whole weekend. Everyone with their own sort of idea of what number winds up working best for them after they try a couple sets.
Yeah, some people prefer the gold cap offset, some people prefer the white cap offset. The good news is now with the visual offset option, you can basically set whatever your preference is.
Looks like a Vivid player.
Well, that's actually Rainbow.
Oh, right, Rainbow.
Yeah. I don't know if he plays everything on Rainbow or if he's just doing it because it's an old Extreme chart and therefore just feels more at home, because that's played on Extreme back in the day. That's exactly how the arrows looked.
Very clean start. Starting to approach the first drill section. So far, he has been on very tight timing, a little bit behind on some 8-note crossovers at the center of the pad, but doing great on the drills.
Yep. Got the crossover patterns coming up here.
Looks like he is also doing these as intended, flowing the crossovers back and forth across the pads. Such a fun watch on doubles.
That part's really, that one's kind of weird because it's either in Vegas where you have to do it backwards or you have to like change up your footing to hit that 16th one, right? This looks like it has a very strong score here.
Yeah, that is going to put him, I believe, just a few EX ahead of Rocco. Yeah, 10 EX ahead.
Oh,
so
wow.
Moosey now with the score to beat on this chart. Very nice opening for him as he moves into the two slightly harder charts.
All right. So he's opting to do da-da-da-da next.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to leave the busiest song for third when you're trying to kind of warm yourself up as you work through a tiring double set. So as we just saw, we have basically 12th note drill patterns, some of them moving around the pads for the long ones later in the song, and otherwise similar syncopated 16th patterns to the single chart. Little bit of fasts at the start of the song that very quickly corrects and has been on good MA.
Yep. And yeah, he's sticking with Rainbow. JoJo mentioned there in the chat that he is a Rainbow boy. He's on his champions team, I believe. So.
Overall, no problem with the 4-note 16th drills. Only a couple greats so far, but gets himself back onto pretty good Marvelous timing in that little break. So as we come to the 12th note section, been doing very well so far. Slightly rushes, but then almost MFCs the second one.
Yep.
Very nice on the last one. It's going to be a bit hard to tell where he's going to come in here. Couple small mistakes, but also large stretches of the song done very well.
All right, 1295.
That is going to put him in second place to Rocco.
Okay. So we'll see how he finishes out on Chronos.
Where we thought Rocco's play was very impressive. Stopping a little bit for some water between songs. Rocco scored a beat, is going to be 1602. This is a song with a higher EX count than the others. Chronos is a better chart for Moosey than Da Da Da, says chat. May well be. We probably want to see right away how well can he settle it to the right timing window on some of these 16th patterns. He has to adjust a little bit at the start. But now seems to have found the window pretty well. Still see some fast breaks. But this is a long song. Doing a lot of these patterns across the pads very nicely. MA has definitely picked up over the course of this song as he gets used to the rhythms and maybe gotten comfortable with the tempo. So a lot of this will be how well does he handle the end. Rocco did very well on the ending run back and forth.
That's looking good there.
Still a good amount of song left in this one. Did not take a break to wave to the crowd during the rest. Pretty okay on the step jump. Did that run very nicely, and one more long one. That was great, actually. It's going to be close, but he's going to be just a few points behind Rocco. All right, it is teejusb up. And it looks like he's going to choose to start with V for Extreme, just like the other players. Contemplating a pretty fast read for doubles players, 375, which is up over 560. But we've seen a few players reading it around there.
Yeah, my apologies. It is Sujit. It didn't look like him from the back for some reason with the hat, so.
Yeah, our casting desk is facing the pad from behind the bar today.
Yeah, we also have like monitors kind of obscuring it too, so apologies on that. I guess mistakes can be the last one, but we got Sujit going with the white combo to start out.
Those nice quarter notes at the start of V, letting you find the timing. Both of the players so far have done pretty well on the drills, but have dropped some points and given some opportunity for someone to really ace the drills in this first song. And here are the first ones coming up. A little slow. Second one, perfect. Third one, almost perfect too.
I think something good.
Really nice movement across the pads. You can sort of see the typical doubles form on the toes going back and forth across all these eighth notes.
Some greats there.
Ambiguous drill that people were talking about.
Yep.
But handled very nicely again.
So I believe 1197 was the score to beat.
Yeah, I think that will have him in third place for the first song. And let's see, probably going for Da Da Da. The ambiguous drill makes or breaks your score from chat. Yeah, drills are, they're the focus of the song because the regular drills, so often when errors come during them, they come in these clumps, and correcting during drills is so much harder than in any other type of pattern.
Yep. Perfect start on the alternating 12th notes, that's a good sign. And right into the broken 16ths that are mostly the same rhythm that you're familiar with from the expert single. Yeah, that is a particular danger of up-down drills, that they can just leave you in the completely wrong place. Little off for one of the patterns right after a pad transition, but finds the timing again right away. The score to beat on this one is going to be 13-11 from Rocco. Into the 12th note part here.
Very nice. Very nice. Got a little bit of fast, slow, and corrected during the drills, which can be very difficult. Overall, PFC's the entire section.
Yeah, CP did very well in those 12th notes. Great timing. Something right afterwards.
Da 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 needs more focus. Yeah, very valid. Drills require that. Syncopated 16th patterns require that. I always forget the number I say.
Yeah, I think it was like 1290 someone got was the highest score on that.
I'm pretty sure second place for this song. That leaves him in. No, it is third place, just by a bit from Moosey. And Chronos coming up, where our scores so far have been 1602 and 1584. And he used a pretty high read speed on the first two songs. Not surprising he would go up to 4.5 here. Another score up over 570. Another read speed up over 570. So a pretty different song from the ones we've played so far. Low tempo, but with a lot of 16ths, and kind of a stamina drain in the way that the first two were.
Yep.
Like we've seen a little before, a bit tricky to find the timing window starting right away in those 16th note patterns, but it looks like he's got it now. little bit of stream lag. People are saying maybe due to this extremely wildly changing background. But he's keeping combo and holding very nicely on this song so far overall. A lot of nice MA now that the longer, more continuous 5-note broken 16th patterns are coming up. Into the odd 5-4 section where you kind of stay turned one way the entire time during the single. A little bit more twisty here. Little bit of trouble on a crossover.
Got to do those holes, which is worth a decent amount on each 3x.
Light person problems. Yeah, good point that having to hold a freeze in a very odd posture, like with all your weight leaning the other way, can actually be sometimes kind of a tricky thing. Nice form on the ending run. Picked up, I think, one miss during it. Very nice set.
All right, so I think we're going to have Mystic is going to be our last player for this pool.
Yeah, this
Mystic is out of Ohio, apparently mainly a pump player.
Cool. Pump, a game where players regularly have to compete in doubles way more.
Yes. It'll be very interesting. So if he's mainly a pump player, he's going to be very good at doubles because it's very integrated. But obviously with pump, timing isn't as much of a factor the way DDR is. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in DDR doubles.
Yeah, and of course the transitions are different, but the overall skill at being used to moving back and forth, keeping your balance and weight properly sped up and slowed down as you constantly move back and forth, and just reading and planning transitions will be very familiar.
I do personally find DDR doubles, a lot of the patterning is more awkward compared to the way pump is. Pump tends to flow a lot easier the way 8-panel doubles does.
Yeah, I have not tried it much. I know a lot of people swear by 10-panel double as being a lot of fun because 8-panel has kind of one way to move across the pads, basically. Okay, Mystic setting up on the cab now. We've seen every player so far. Yeah, more fluid ways to move around the middle, exactly. Someone saw Harujun behind the casting desk.
Yep, I know June. I don't know if he's in the next pool or not.
I think I saw him in the next pool. And yes, no surprise, June is a fan favorite. Watching June play double, so that will be coming up soon. Mystic does pick the challenge as the first song like anyone else. He also remembers to turn off stealth. Who knows what the last thing he was doing was?
Put on stealth, hopefully.
Okay, he was doing some weird stealth thing on a white cab. Turns it.
I think he was trying to play around the
zero.
options and stuff, but yeah.
All right, the challenge, the score to beat is 1197 from Moosey. I'm gonna remember it this time. A little slow on the early quarter notes.
Yeah, part of it too, if you come from Pump, Pump also has a little quirk with the game engine where the late window is larger than the early window, so Pump players tend to hit on the later side of things.
Yeah, interesting how you can clearly see the difference with a lot of slows so far.
Yeah.
Even though he is overall handling the patterns with no trouble whatsoever, including the drill.
Yeah, he clearly knows how to do the patterns. If I was him personally, he probably doesn't know this, I would personally add on some of the visual offset probably to help him out, especially going to a gold cap from Pump is probably going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you talked about how the thing with the late timing window, because he used a 0 offset down from a positive offset, presumably playing on a white tab earlier, which makes sense as an adjustment, but because the trouble that people sometimes have coming to a gold tab is hitting slows in the first place, you might want to use a much larger negative offset to essentially neutralize that timing window a little bit.
Mystic finishes the song, 10:34, so 11:90 something. I think this is going to be.
Yeah, I did remember the number. It was 11:97.
Yeah, so you can see the fast slow breakdown there. That's definitely you can tell they come from Pump. They know how to do the patterns clearly, but I think they're gonna usually with Pump you're gonna have a bias towards the late side of things.
And an interesting thing is whether they sort of think about the issue in DDR enough to maybe try to adjust visual offset after seeing that happen.
It's a very different mindset going between DDR and Pump, where Pump is about not breaking combo at all costs, and at DDR you can break combo, you don't mind that, but it's all about concentrating on timing. It's two very different mindsets when going between the two games.
Yeah, especially tournament DDR, where maybe if you've spent most of your time looking at machine scores or trying to set PBs or goals like PFCs even, coming into a tournament and saying, I got a miss, but it really doesn't matter if I focus on the next arrow for that Marvelous and still keep collecting points. So overall, the patterning in this song, a little tricky than the previous one, even if mostly just due to the unusual rhythms. We didn't have 12th notes to contend with in V, or the slightly unusual kind of gallop 16th starting on the downbeat, which is often in this song. A lot of fast coming up recently, maybe someone trying to adjust or just happening to settle into a different place on the beat. We'll talk in a moment after this about song draw coming up to the next pool and who's in it, which just was completed. But first, Mystic will be finishing out Da 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 and then Chronos. The Chronos play might be interesting to see whether he seems to have, no trouble handling the more complex 16th patterns in that one.
Yep.
Still pretty comfortable on the drilly 12th note runs here. Comboed most of that song after the start. So yeah, Chronos Challenge, the longest and most stamina-intensive song of the set. We'll see how he does on that. We were talking a bit before in the last break about 8-panel doubles and the way the main new skill you have to learn is a particular pad transition from left to right at the center of the pads, kind of repeatedly, but you always have to do it facing one way or the other way, kind of forwards or backwards.
Yeah. I think Mystic's going to do pretty well on Chronos. It's going to be, I think, a little bit more up the alley coming from a Pump background with some of the patterns on it.
Yeah, starts out very clean and maybe has found the timing window a little just by virtue of coming on to the different cabinet and this being his third song now instead of his first. Keeping combo and really only just the one good. Little faster on a few runs, but moving very nicely back and forth across the pads on some of these runs. You can recognize some pretty light form just kind of floating back and forth easily. Still keeping up a combo with the break and rotate.
Drops a freeze there.
Yeah, it may have been similar to what we talked about a bit in the last song with sort of random drops of freezes. Interestingly, it was hovering on up and right there. You knew what jump was coming. See how he does on this fun ending crossover run? Very nice on it.
Good job by him.
And that will be the end of Pool 2. I'm sure we'll get some verified scores on them soon, but Rocco won 2 of the songs. And yeah, Moosey now is going to take first place in the pool, and so we'll move on, and Moosey will take second and may get a wildcard spot into the top 12.